Hello and welcome to the chaos. For this video, it's going to be a little bit more of a chatty video, I guess. I've got a few things I want to show you, but I kind of wanted to talk about the trends that I see in the crochet world, the plushie world specifically, and what I think about those trends and how they've worked for me at markets or haven't worked, and some trends that I think may be kind of losing their appeal a little bit, and then some others that I think have still kept it and are still going pretty strong. Um, so welcome. Thank you for joining me. And if you are new here, thanks for coming. If you've watched some of my videos before, welcome back. I'm Kristen. I am the owner and crochet artist behind Cheerful Chaos Crafts. I crochet plushies, I write patterns, I do markets, and I paint safety eyes and make stitch markers and amigurumi sticks and do all things crochet. I have a lot of other hobbies and things as well, but that's what you're here for, is the crochet. So let's just dive right in. I didn't really write a script for this video or anything. I'm just going to kind of wing it. I did pull out several plushies. You can see them back there out of my market bags to kind of use as examples for some of the things that I want to talk about. So first, I think I want to go over some trends that I think are kind of moving out, like stuff that was really, really popular last year, and that got a lot of attention on Instagram, but that I've been seeing haven't been getting as much attention at markets lately. Now, please do remember to take all of this with a grain of salt. This is just my experience at my local markets in southern Mississippi, and it may not reflect what you have experienced at your markets. And if you're from different areas and you have experienced something completely the opposite of what I say, like something I say is kind of not selling well here, is really selling well for you, feel free to put that down there, because there may be other people in your area that really need that reassurance, or just need some ideas on some great things they can bring to their markets. So let's get started with the first thing. Now, this is one of the older trends, and I actually have two examples. This is bees. Bees have been a big thing in the crochet community for a while. I have two examples I'm going to show you. This is sort of the classic bee. Now, this is not in classic colors. I grabbed this out of my fall box. This was sort of my pumpkin spice themed bee. And but it's like this simple kind of barrel shape, regular wing. Now these are the bobble wings because it just works up faster for me that way. Most people do like a simple circle wing and sew it on, and it works either way. This is a great pattern for those who are kind of new to crochet and or plushies in particular, and want to be able to make something that they can read a pattern, learn how to read a pattern on. They can learn color changes on. With this one, you can learn bobble stitches. So this is great for those who are kind of in the beginning of their crochet careers to learn. And for a while, they were super, super popular at markets. Now, for me at least, in the past year, in the past year, they have not been very popular. I have not sold very many bees. In the very beginning of my market career, I sold a ton of bees. I couldn't keep them on the shelves. And now I have probably still, I don't know, 18 of these or something that I made last fall in a variety of colors, not just this color, but in a variety of colors that are still just trucking with me from market to market to see if I can finally get them to sell. I am not seeing sales on bees very much anymore. I did try switching to another style, thinking maybe people are just kind of getting bored of the same old bee. So I switched to this little sitting bee, which I still think is one of the cutest things. He's super cute. But again, they're not selling very well. I sell one or two very occasionally, not even at every market. It's more like every other market, every third market. So they're just not selling super great. They do sell well for me on the car hangers that I make, which is a bee opposite a flower with like a green chain in the middle, and maybe a leaf or something. People seem to like it that way a little bit better than just as a plushie. But as just a basic plushie, the bees, for me, that trend seems to be on the way out. The next trend that I think is kind of on the way out, and again, it's one that's been super popular for a really long time, and a lot of people jumped on this train, including me, and it was fantastic for a while. And that is the leggy froggy. This is the Not Jaded Co. original leggy froggy, and he's super cute, and they're super fast to work up. They're great. Again, another one that's great for beginners and great for market prep because you can just bang out a lot of them really fast. Now, some people may still be seeing a good amount of sales on these guys, but I have not been. Not on the leggy frogs. Sometimes on some of the other frog shapes, people, in my area at least, seem to be leaning more towards the more naturally shaped frogs than these more silly leggy frogs. I am selling these a little bit more than bees, but not very much. Not nearly as much as they were when I first started markets. Again, this is one of those things that I could barely keep on the shelves when I first started marketing, and now I'll make a dozen, and then they'll just trek with me from market to market for 6 months, and I still have some. I think I made this batch back in February, and it is now July, and I still have at least half of them. Yeah, I think I have five of that dozen that I had made. So almost half are still hanging around. So just one or two here and there, they're getting harder and harder to sell. So again, a trend that was really big and really popular, but I think it's on its way out. I didn't grab examples of like the more realistic frogs, but I have tried, what is the name of that? I have a few saved in my Instagram list that I have tried and that people have paid attention to. The Chubby Butt Frog by Crochet people seem to like. And then I'll try to remember the other one. I'll pull it up on my Instagram and make sure it's in the description of this video. So if you want to try one of the more realistic frogs, you'll have those. The next trend that I'm going to talk about that I think is on its way out is the chicken, unfortunately, because it's one of my favorites. Everybody recognizes this chicken, the Mabel chicken. It took Instagram by storm last year. Everybody was making these chickens, and so many people still are, and people are bulking them for markets. And again, it's a great one for markets. It's easy, it's quick. You can whip out a whole bunch of them really fast. And I was selling a lot of them at the beginning of my market career. But again, with this one, now I'm not seeing that trend anymore. I'm not able to sell the ones that I made months and months ago. They're still just hanging on, going with me from market to market. I have sold a few of my cone-shaped chicken. I actually have a pattern that I wrote for that I don't have an example made, but I can insert a picture of one right here because I sold the last one of those that I had. I need to make another one. So the cone-shaped chicken I'm still selling a little bit. It's still not as much as the Mabel originally was selling for me. But so maybe if you are also seeing a decrease in your Mabel chicken sales, finding a pattern that gives you a slightly different shape will boost those sales back up for you again. She's really cute, but just not selling as well for me. I do have a smaller version of her, like a teeny tiny version of her that I make for my claw machine that people seem to be really excited about in the claw machine. But I think that's more the novelty of playing the claw machine as opposed to the chicken itself. So that's another trend I think is on its way out. Okay, here's another one. Now this one, I don't see this one going anywhere. This is the possum. This is my pattern in particular, but it doesn't seem to matter what pattern you use. And my last video, if you watched it, I was going over all the different possum patterns that I have, free and paid. No, I think they're all paid. They might have all been paid. There are some free ones out there. But yeah, possums are still selling really, really well at markets. And there's a lot of them that are small and easy to work up and great for market prep. So this trend, I think, is staying. Next we have, now this is going to be controversial. This is the dragon. The year of the dragon. Now, I think, this is my personal opinion, I think that this trend was really more among the makers. We enjoy making the dragons. I love making the dragons. I have so many dragon patterns. We enjoy making the dragons. The Winnie pattern has been fantastic. The Posy, the fairy dragon by Refined Vibes, has been fantastic. Jenna came out with a no-sew dragon that is fantastic. Like, all the dragon patterns have been so much fun to make, but they, as far as what I have seen, don't sell super well at markets. Now, it could be because they take longer to make, um, and they're more complex. They tend to be one of the higher price point items. So it may just be that they are falling into that higher price point area, kind of gray area, where it's harder to determine how well they really do, because you're not going to sell out of the higher price point items every time. But that being said, I have not sold like a dragon at every market. So that's kind of what I'm using as my basis for this. Is more of a maker trend than a consumer trend. They're beautiful. I love them. I'm still going to make them. I still have fun with them. But I don't see these as being the kind of thing that you're going to sell at least one at every market. And again, this is to do with my markets in particular. So your area may be a little different. So that one, I think, was a online trend, not a market trend. Next, here's the next. This is another new trend, recent trend, the loaf cats. This trend is on point. Everybody loves making these. They have been super popular. This is the Annie Caraway art, and she's come out with several patterns now that modify this into different things, fruit and flowers and all kinds of cute things. So this one is both a maker's trend and a consumer's trend, because I have sold several of these already, and they get a lot of attention at all of my markets, and they're fun to make, and everybody online is making them and talking about them. So right now, this is a trend that is current, and it is still going. So this one is one you want to jump on. If you have not started making loaf cats for your market, give it a try. Even if it's not one of these big ones, there's plenty of free patterns for really small ones, and I think those will do just as well. So give the loaf cat a try, because they're doing so great. Next, we have sea turtles. Now, sea turtles, I don't know how long they've been a trend. I feel like it's been a while. I feel like they've been on the markets for a good long while. Sorry, I had to pause there because my husband came in to grab something out of the closet. So sea turtles. Sea turtles have been a trend for a good long while, and it doesn't seem to matter what the trend, like what the theme is. A sea turtle's going to sell. And I don't see that trend going away anytime soon. People just love sea turtles. And why wouldn't they? They're super cute. There are a lot of patterns out there that are really easy to make. I have not yet found one that takes less than an hour, unless it's like a keychain size or like a super small one. There are those out there. Most of them, though, for me, are going to take an hour to an hour and a half. But that's okay. That's okay, because they sell every time. I have had so many sea turtles sell, and it doesn't matter if I put a flower on its shell, if I put a bow on its shell, or a heart on its shell, if it's just a two-toned sea turtle, or if it's got a multicolored shell or multicolored body with a solid shell. Sea turtles sell, and they sell in multiple sizes. So if you're not selling sea turtles at your market, give them a try. It is worth it. This trend is not going anywhere anytime soon. The next trend that I'm going to talk about is the cow. This is my cow in particular. I have another standing cow that I make for markets, but I didn't want to dig all the way to the bottom of my bag, so I just grabbed this guy because he was on top. This is my newest pattern. He's in testing right now, so this pattern will be coming soon. So cows. Cows were super, super popular for a while. Very, very on trend. And I got a lot of attention for my cows. I sold a lot of my cows last year. This year, I haven't sold as many cows of the standing variety. These guys are so new to my market, the laying down ones, that I don't know yet how they'll do. they've gotten some attention, but I've only had them at like 2 markets and they haven't sold yet. And I don't know whether that's the cow or the market, because at both of those markets I actually did not sell anything. So it could just be the market. But cows, like I said, I sold a lot of them last year. I haven't sold as many this year. I've sold a few. I haven't sold none. So I think this is kind of in the same vein as maybe the dragons. Like, it's super, super popular online. Everybody loves the cow, especially the Highland cow. They're very cute, but maybe not as popular with consumers, or it may just be falling into that middle ground territory where, since they're more complicated and there is more sewing, they tend to be priced a little higher, and that makes it more difficult for them to be purchased. Now, this cow, I will toot my own horn a little bit and talk about it, is a no-sew cow. So that does make him a little bit faster for market prep. Everything about him is no-sew: the ears, the hair, the legs, the tail, all of it. The hair and the tail are crocheted on. The legs are made first and crocheted in, and it's all worked from snoot to boot. So this one does work up faster. This one does fit for me into a market readiness, because I can make one in about 45 minutes. I do crochet pretty fast, so you may be looking more closer to an hour. But yeah, this guy's market ready. So I'm hoping he'll start to pick up come fall time. So I'm kind of a middle ground with this trend. I don't think it's as popular as it was, but I don't think it's going out the way bees and leggy froggies are. Okay. Speaking of fall time, I don't have one in front of me because my fall time bin is like buried. It's over here, buried under other bins, and I don't feel like digging it out just for the sake of a video. But fall time coming up. So everybody's going to be prepping for Halloween. If you're not prepping for Halloween already, you probably should be. I know it's July. Believe me, I know. I know it's July, but you're going to kick yourself if it gets to be August, September, and you don't start having Halloween stuff on your table, because people are going to be looking for it already. It's already in the stores. It's already in Hobby Lobby. It's in the Dollar Tree. People are buying pumpkins and autumn leaves. Like, it's happening. So start working on at least a few things a week. Throw 1 or 2 new Halloween themed patterns, or just fall themed, not necessarily Halloween themed, but fall themed patterns into your regular workup every week, so that you can start to build some up before fall really hits, because you're going to kick yourself if you don't have enough stock. Simply based on last year's numbers, because obviously this fall hasn't happened yet, and I don't know for sure, but simply based on last year's numbers, some trends that I saw working really, really well were ghosts, spiders, and gnomes. The ghosts, I use the free Instagram pattern by Crochet with Bay. It's very simple. It's just, it's like the ghost sheet costume, where it's just sort of an upside down U shape with like a ripple around the bottom. Super easy to work up. They work up in about 15 minutes. They're very cute. And you can do all kinds of different personalization to them, with their eyes, with blush or no blush, put a mouth on them, give them an angry face, give them a happy face, give them only eyes and no face. I don't, whatever. Everyone can be different based on your mood that day. And people love them. Last year, people ate them up. I sold every ghost I made. I mean, I think I have the very last market that I had made a whole bunch for. I only sold about half of those, but that was like the end of October. So Halloween was already like right around the corner, and people had already bought all the Halloween that they wanted to buy at that point. But I sold almost every ghost that I made. I did sell every spider that I made. So ghosts, I would recommend. Spiders, I would recommend. There's a free pattern on Instagram called Spoo the Spider, and I did do a video on it last year when I first found it. That works up very quickly. It's a no-sew pattern. It's very cute. And that one did extremely well for me. And I made it in a multitude of colors. I did make some traditional black, but I also did it in pink and blue and sparkly and not sparkly. And then I've done some in jumbo yarn so that they look like big tarantulas or something. They get a lot of attention, if nothing else, but the spiders did very well for me last year. So that would be another one that I would recommend adding to your fall lineup. The third one that I mentioned was gnomes. Gnomes did really well for me, actually. There's a couple of patterns for them for free that you can find on Instagram. I can list some in the description when I go back through my pattern lists and find them again. For gnomes, though, I wouldn't go too ham on them. They were not as big of sellers for me as the ghosts and the spiders, but they were really cute and they did sell. And I think they sold more for people who were looking like for home decor, for shelf decor. So, focus on that kind of sizing, I would say, for like the, what are they, the tiered tray decorations, that people want to put on their front tables and they change out this, every season what they're putting on there. So a gnome would be a great addition to something like that, but you want to keep it small enough to go onto the tray, or small enough for a keychain. Keychain size things, I feel, are a great way to include some seasonal and holiday type decor or items into your lineup, because uh, they're pretty quick, they're small, and they don't take up a whole lot of room. So if you don't sell them all, you can pack them away pretty easily to bring back out for next year, and you won't feel like you've wasted a lot of time and material making this seasonal stuff that didn't sell as well. So that would be my final tip as far as holiday trends, seasonal trends, is to make a lot of smaller items that are holiday themed, keychain size, claw machine size, just little pocket buddy sized. Pogsy's Place actually just came out with a new pattern pack that has a bunch of fantasy buddies in it, and it also has things that could be very particularly Halloween themed, like a gargoyle. I think there might be a ghost in there. I can't remember, but she's also got a Halloween pack, like, of little things, and those would be perfect, I think, for your holiday items. Because again, like I said, then you don't have to worry about if they don't sell this year. They're pretty small. Pack them up in a little bag, bring them back out next year, and you're set. It is. Sorry, I just got super distracted because it got extremely windy outside, like very suddenly. I hope we're not in for a humongous, terrible storm. But anyway, so that is my take on this year's market trends, crochet trends, Instagram trends, how they've done, how they're doing. Are they still good? Are they on their way out? That's my 2 cents. So if you've got something that you want to add to this conversation, please put it in the comments below. Let me know how any of these things are doing for you. I just lost power. Well, I guess it is going to storm. So I'm going to end this video right here. But yeah, if y'all have comments on any of this, drop them down below. I would love to hear from you. I want to hear back from you what's worked for you, what hasn't worked for you, and what you think of these trends, or if there's other big trends that you want to recommend to other people. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Bye.